Hello there everybody, and welcome back to part 16 of my Megaman Legends Let's Play. The beginning of this one's just going to be me getting back out of here, so hopefully you guys don't mind that I'm going to speed this part up. This one I'm going to be getting back to the sub-cities that I had gotten from the main gate, so that I can get down to the final boss at the bottom. I do very much like the sub-gates. They've each got kind of their own little gimmick going on in there. With each one, you do have to defeat all of the enemies so that you can get the key. There's like each one basically has like a pyramid in the center, and you can't get inside the pyramid building unless you defeat all the enemies. And I do this twice. Freaking hate these things. Just trying to run through there, and the depth perception when you're looking at something like that is not as great as I wish it was. I just walked into it because I felt like I was just about to be hit by the one behind me, and I just walked into the one in front of me. As I am recording the voice for this one, I have already started recording the gameplay for Megaman Legends 2. So this one is going to end on part 18, but I believe I've said that I might come back to it a little bit later to do the side quests, as I started going down the main gate to fight the last boss, and I was like, I'd probably do those like afterwards, but no, I forgot that they block you off from going back into town really after you defeat the last boss. So you can't do those things afterwards. There's a scene where you say goodbye to everybody, and anybody that you haven't helped is like lamenting at the fact that whatever you didn't do for them didn't get done. And here I'm deciding to take the Grand Grenade with me because I know of the bosses in the sub-gates. Power it up with my 100,000 Zenny to max attack power, and that is just for one stat to go up. And that is still nothing compared to leveling up the most powerful weapon in the game that I just don't want to, like, I would not spend time farming for it. The Shining Laser, if I recall, costs like 1,000,000 Zenny just for the last attack upgrade. I'm going to be going to the first sub-gate over here, and you can see that there are people gathered around it. What the heck is this thing? And for some reason, one of them like knows it's a sub-gate, or a sub-city, and I'm like, how the heck would you know what that is? Why would you know what that is? Who told you about a sub-gate? So head on in. And they're all filled with Reaver bots in these buildings.
So this underground city must be where the prototype Anchor units live. But where am I going to find the central building?
As far as I'm aware, there are certain buildings in here that the ones with bombs can destroy. I don't know if they can just attack any of the buildings and destroy them. But you might be noticing that even with my max attack buster, that thing takes a whole lot of punishment to go down. And if I recall correctly, these guys can jump up here. So I don't know why he was just charging at the building like that. They can actually get to you on those short buildings. But as I started playing Megaman Legends 2 again, I started realizing how vague some of my knowledge on that game is after so many years of just not playing it. The diary entries in Megaman Legends 2 actually changing depending on what happens in certain scenes I had basically completely forgotten about, aside from like the intro to the game. By the way, the first episode of that one for me will entirely be a cutscene. It's just the introduction to that game was a 10-minute long cutscene that I had completely forgotten was that long. And you can really tell that in this one, I'm getting to the end game because with my max attack buster and my max range, the rapid doesn't matter a ton, but these things take so long to take down right now. They just take so many shots. And I'd rather stay safe and have my range than have rapid in Mega Man Legends for the most part. But these guys, once you start hitting them, they just fall over repeatedly every 3 or 4 shots, and you just consistently keep them down. But this one's bugging out. But these guys just take so many shots, and the way that they fire the pellet gun, just in completely random directions in front of themselves, dodging them seems like kind of a crapshoot, honestly. And it may or may not be apparent at the fact that this one's coming out when it is. I am going to be trying to increase the frequency at which I am doing these. I don't know if I'm going to make it completely daily. I do have quite a bit of footage recorded now, so I might be able to do that and keep up with it consistently. But between work, weightlifting, and the things I have to do in my actual life, I'm not entirely sure that I will go back to consistently doing that as I did with the first 5. I mean, it's been nearly 2 months, and I've only done another 11 or 12 of these. And on top of that, I do want to get into streaming more. I just haven't really found a game that
that sounded like a door
goes
opening
really
somewhere.
well with doing that and consistently
Better
doing
take a
it.
look around.
I will most likely go back to Alice Madness Returns here in a little bit, though I've rebooted the game, and I thought it would have done its autosave, because as far as I'm aware, you can't save. I thought it would do the
Got it.
autosave after the
I better get
cutscene
back
I
to the
got,
surface.
but not, puts you right back to before the cutscene, and then I have to go through that entire cutscene again. And then, I mean, it seems like an arbitrary save point where it put me, and to not do one after the cutscene, I don't know. So that's the first key from the sub-cities. The other 2 sub-cities are in West and East Town. One is in the warehouse that exploded from when Bruno was activated, and this one is right through the door to West City. And that sub-city was the one with probably the least gimmicky thing going on inside there. Everything was just kind of tough. But this one has this one boss that spawns guys out of his butt. And he will spawn a certain amount, and after he gets to that amount, he won't drop them anymore. But he has to be dropping them for you to deal damage to him, because the back thing that he's opening acts as like a barrier to that inside, and the inside is the only way you deal damage to him. So you need to continue to destroy the Reaver bots he's dropping, but dealing any damage to the compartment that opens makes him shut it and usually stops him from dropping another Reaver bot. You see, that time when I threw the grenade, I did it at such a point where I destroyed whatever Reaver bot he was summoning because I got Zen while also dealing damage to him, and then he ran away. And every time you hit him, he's going to close it and run away. And I believe you need to destroy three things on his backside. It's a fucking butt. I don't understand why there's a thing. But he craps out enemies, and I'm lobbing grenades at his butt. I imagine that there are probably better secondary weapons you could bring, but I'm pretty sure the Grand Grenade for me was the one with the most attack power after that one upgrade. But the one upgrade, of course, did cost 100,000 Zen. But shooting it with my buster, I might hit it like you know, 2, 3 times. But the Grand Grenade just explodes and does tons of damage because of how much attack power the thing has. And sometimes you could probably combo it. I'm not really trying all that hard to combo it. And because I've left all of the other Reaver bots gone, I don't have to chase anything down. There are times where, if you're new to it, you might destroy the boss, but there's a Reaver bot that didn't stay aggroed to you or something, and it's in a corner, and the door won't open until you get rid of all the Reaver bots that it summoned. So that is a thing that has happened before. You just kind of have to run around looking for them because they just wander aimlessly. So off we go to the third one. I am just gonna run by all the dogs. I'm not going to go kicking all the dogs again. There's no point because I'm not gonna be like just wandering around there. I know exactly where I'm going, and the dogs just won't keep up with me. But the gimmick for this one is basically if you don't get on top of buildings, you will not get the door open. They have those really weak enemies that have the what would you even call them? Like the transmitting robots, the ones that don't move, that just sit there with their head spinning. They have those ones in here, and they put them on top of the tallest buildings possible. So if you don't know that they're up there, you could potentially just not figure out why you can't go through the door. And I kind of think that's stupid. Like, they shouldn't do that kind of thing to new players, but it's an easy enemy to defeat. They've been around for a while. It's just a case of finding the transmitting robot. And as you just saw, they even gave them ways to hit me at the top of the building. They, like, reel back slightly and start shooting their gun. So these two are not all that high up, but there is one on the tallest building on the other side. And I think there might even be one more. I think there's a couple on some really tall buildings, but those ones were easy. And I believe I actually have to wander slightly because I leave one of the robots without the transmitter guy, and he's just standing in a corner, and I don't see him because he's not moving. But as you can see, none of these are particularly difficult. There's just a few guys with like tons of HP. For the most part, if you have the high range, you can just kind of pick them off and they can't really do anything to you. These ones shooting like that, just it's the enemy of all 3D games. Just circle strafing. Just circle strafe them. They can't really do anything if you just keep circle strafing. And like that other one, you know, you just kind of shoot it at like max range, and sometimes they won't even know you're there because your max range is higher than their max range. They weren't really designed for that. And at this point, I'm just looking for a few stragglers. This guy whose transmitter I've killed, so he's just standing in the middle. They have like no HP, so it doesn't really matter. If I recall, there's a transmitter on top of that building in that corner I'm kind of looking at. If I go up, yeah, you might have just seen it on top of the building to my left. I don't think I saw it initially, but I believe I know it's up there. So I'm going on up there. But this one is probably the better hidden one out of all the transmitters around. I was like, is there one here? Nah. Is there anything hiding in the corner? I'm not hearing any robots moving around. But I believe I left one back here in this back left corner. And that is why it is not open yet. Yeah, that dude right there.
Huh?
Last one.
That sounded like a door opening somewhere. I better take a look around.
And I don't know why he says that all 3 times. I mean, the first time it happened, I feel like it should be self-explanatory. The next couple of times it happens.
There. This should be the last key.
And so those keys are all used in the bottom floor of the main gate, that place where I kind of just walked into and went, oh yeah, not this yet, and then turned around and left. And I did that right before the fight with Bruno in this part of the city. But that's going to be where I call this one, and I hope to see you guys in part 17. Peace out.